Hello students, welcome to the online earthquake engineering classes. This is Professor Harush Patil. In this particular class I am going to deal with earthquake lateral force analysis. Here there are two methods actually. One is static analysis and the one is dynamic analysis. Okay, now coming to earthquake lateral force analysis. Here the design lateral force shall be first computed for the building as a whole. Here it can be computed first as a building as a whole. The design lateral force shall be first computed for the building as a whole. This design lateral force shall be distributed to the various floor levels. This design shall be distributed to the various floor levels. Okay, there are two commonly used procedures for seismic design lateral forces. From starting only I am telling you, here in earthquake engineering or earthquake resistant design of structures, there are two methods. One is static analysis and other one is dynamic analysis. The first one is equivalent static force analysis, means it is a static analysis. Here you can call it as the first one is equivalent static force analysis and the second one is dynamic analysis. Okay, now here in this particular video I am going to deal with only equivalent static force analysis. To the static analysis procedure, that is equivalent lateral force procedure, let us see this particular analysis method is based on some assumptions. Let us see what all are those assumptions. Okay, here equivalent static lateral force analysis is based on the following assumptions. The first assumption made in that particular analysis is assume that the structure is rigid. While designing or analyzing the structure, you need to assume it as structure is rigid. Assume perfect fixity between the structure and foundation. You need to assume that there is a proper foundation or a proper fixity between the structure and the foundation. Okay, fixity between the structure and the foundation. Next, the third assumption is during ground motion, every point on the structure experience same accelerations. Here is one more assumptions. Here it is during ground motion, every point on the structure experience the same accelerations. Okay, the fourth assumption is dominant effect of earthquake is equivalent to lateral force of varying magnitude over the height. Okay, similarly the fifth assumption is approximately determines the total horizontal force, that is base shear on the structure. Here this method can approximately, you need to assume it like this, approximately determines the total horizontal force, that is base shear on the structure. Okay, let us see what is that exact procedure of equivalent lateral force procedure. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Let us see the step-by-step procedure for equivalent static force analysis. Here in this particular video, as I told you, I am going to discuss only the steps to be followed while analyzing the particular structure. Here in this video we are going to discuss only the steps, what all are the steps involved in that particular analysis. Okay, and based on those steps we are going to solve the problems or numericals in coming videos or in coming classes. Okay, the first step is, depending on the location of the building site, identify the seismic zone and assign the zone factor, that is Z. Okay, I hope you can understand by the sentence. First and foremost thing is you need to identify the building site and identify the zone factor. And depending on that particular location of the building site, you need to identify the zone, which zone it is, and you need to assign the zone factor for that, and it is given in table number 3 in IS 1893 2016, and you can refer the map or annexure of IS 1893 2016. In that, as you all know already, they have given, we know we are already, you know that is there are 4 earthquake zones are there in India, that is zone 2, zone 3, zone 4 and zone 5, and zone 2 is having a zone factor of 0.1, and zone 3 is having a zone factor of 0.16, and zone 4 is having a zone factor of 0.24, and zone 5 is having a zone factor of 0.36. These things you already know. Here, based on this, you just this is a first step. You need to identify, or you need to identify the zone based on the location of the site, and you need to assign the zone factor for that. It means if your location, if I am considering a Belgaum city, if Belgaum is located in zone 3, it comes in zone 3, means Belgaum is in zone 3, means for zone 3 we are having a zone factor of 0.16. Just we are going to consider the zone factor of 0.16. It is like that. Okay. The second step is compute the seismic weight of the building, that is W, capital W. Here it is given in as per IS 7.4.1, IS 1893 2016, seismic weight of floors and seismic weight of the building you need to calculate. And how to calculate that particular seismic weight, I'm going to tell you while solving the numerical itself. Okay, this seismic weight means it is a weight of the floor. How we are going to calculate it? It is a very simple procedure is that we'll discuss it later. Okay, just you need to know what is the second step, that is computation of seismic weight of the building. That's it, that is capital W. Okay, this step 3 is compute the natural period of the building. The third step is compute the natural period of the building, that is TA, as per clause 7.6.1 or clause 7.6.2 IS 1893 2016, as the case may be. Okay, as the case may be, like this you can compute the natural period based on that particular case. Okay, here the step 4, coming to step 4, obtain the data pertaining to the type of soil conditions of foundation of the building. Assign pertaining to the type of soil. Here the type of soil, here you can consider as, first one is for hard soil, 1 for hard soil, and 2 for medium soil, and 3 for soft soil. It is based on that you can obtain the data pertaining to the type of soil conditions. While solving problem, you can see how we are going to do all these things, how we are going to refer this these 7.2.6.2 IS 1893 how we are going to calculate the time period and all. We are going to discuss it while solving the problems itself. These are only steps I am telling here. Okay, coming to step 5, here using TA and a soil type, that is 1, 2 or 3, whatever it may be soil type. Here compute the average spectral acceleration, that is SA by G. SA by G means we have discussed it, I hope you know it. We have discussed it while discussing an introduction about IS 1893 2016. Okay, this is SA by G is a spectral acceleration. Here either you can to compute the SA by G, either you can use the figure 2A or 2B in IS 1893 2016 or a corresponding tables given in IS 1893 2016. We shall see it while solving the problems. This is your 5th step. In 6th step, what you need to do is assign the value of importance factor. You know, again it is we have discussed these things, what is importance factor and all. Assign the value of that importance factor, that is I, depending on the occupancy and or functionality of that particular structure. Importance factor means how important that particular structure is, depending on the occupancy and functionality of that particular structure, whether it is residential building, whether it is commercial building, whether it is a hospital building, whether it is school building. Based on that, they have given the importance factor in IS 1893. Here I have given the clause, that is 7.2.3 in table number 8 IS 1893 2016. Okay, based on that, you just assign the IS the value of I, that is important factor. This is your step 6. In step 7, what you need to do is assign the values of response reduction factor, that is R, capital R. Assign the values of response reduction factor. I hope you know what is this response reduction factor and where it is there. Here as per clause, it is there in IS 1893 2016 in clause 7.2.6 in table number 9. You can see the table of response reduction factor. From that, you just assign the value of response reduction factor. And step 8, here knowing up till here you know already now Z, SA by G, R, I. This is Z means zone factor, and SA by G means it is spectral acceleration, and R is the response reduction factor, and I is the importance factor. These things you people have taken it from, and this SA by G you have computed, and this is how these things you have taken it from IS 1893 2016. Now you need to compute the design horizontal acceleration coefficient. You know this design horizontal acceleration coefficient, that is AH. We'll call it as, using the relationship. Here I have not given that relationship, but I have discussed it in the earlier classes, that is Z by 2 I by R SA by G. That is relation between these. Based on that, you can compute the value of AH. AH is equals to Z by 2 I by R SA by G. This is the relation. Okay, going to the next slide. Okay, here in step 9, using the value of AH and the W means it is weight, seismic weight, compute the design base shear. Compute the design base shear. Seismic weight you have computed earlier itself. By using the value of W and H, you need to calculate here VB, that is base shear, from the equation H into W, which is given in the clause 7.6.1 IS 1893 2016. Okay. This is your step 9, calculation of VB, AH into W. VB is calculated, AH into W. And in step 10, this is step 9. In step 10, compute design lateral force. Step 10, you need to compute the design lateral force by using this particular formula. Here, compute the lateral force QI of ith floor. Ith floor means which floor you are calculating it. If you are calculating first floor, you need to, here it will be 1. If you are calculating second floor, it like that. Of ith floor, by distributing the design seismic base shear, that is VB, as per the expressions. Okay, QI is equals to design lateral force at floor I, and WI seismic weight of the floor I. HI is the height of the floor I measured from the base. It is HI is the height of the floor I measured from the base. Okay, we'll have discussion on this while solving the problems. Okay, N is equals to number of stories in buildings, that is number of levels at which masses are located. Okay, this is regarding your step-by-step procedure of equivalent lateral static force analysis. Okay, this is the procedure for equivalent static force analysis or equivalent lateral static force analysis. Okay, please practice this steps and have these steps in your mind, so that it will be very useful while solving the problems. By saying this, I'm concluding this particular class. Thank you. Okay, see you in the next class.